True love rarely arrives with fireworks. It doesn't need to shout to be heard. It shows up in small gestures, in silences that bring comfort, in the presence that stays even when everything around seems to collapse. Often, someone who truly loves you doesn't say, "I'll never leave you," with words. They prove it through actions that, little by little, build an unbreakable bond. And it's along this silent journey that the signs appear. They emerge subtly in everyday life, in details many overlook, in acts of care that seek no applause. If you pay attention, you'll notice each one of these signs reveals the truth your heart has always wanted to hear. Today, you're about to dive into a story, not a fairy tale, but a story of real love, the kind that withstands time, survives storms, and remains even when everything changes. As this story unfolds, you'll recognize 7 signs, and when you see them, you can be sure he will never leave you. At first, everything seemed ordinary. The routine, the conversations, the meetings, nothing out of the ordinary. But over time, something remarkable became clear. He wasn't there just for the easy moments. He stayed through the laughter, yes, but the true test came when tears appeared. When fear spoke louder, when life felt too heavy, he didn't disappear. He didn't flee from your vulnerabilities. He didn't retreat when silence took over. He stayed, and he didn't stay out of obligation. He stayed because his presence doesn't depend on circumstances. He remains because his place is by your side. Constant, silent, steadfast presence is one of the strongest signs he will never leave you. Because someone who loves isn't only there for the parties, they're there for the storms. Over time, it became clear he wasn't just there for company. He wanted to know every detail of your world. He asked about your dreams, remembered little stories you thought went unnoticed, wanted to know how your day went, even when it was ordinary. It wasn't superficial curiosity, it was genuine interest. Because someone who loves doesn't just want to be near you, they want to be part of your world. He celebrated your victories, even the small ones. He shared in your pain, even when there was nothing he could do but listen. And that's when you realized he doesn't love only who you are now. He loves who you want to become. When someone steps into your world and wants to walk alongside you, it's because they have no plans to leave. True love doesn't require grand declarations. It shows up in the small choices of daily life. Like the day he had 1,000 things to do, but still found time to send a message just to check if you had eaten. Or the night he was exhausted, but chose to listen to your venting instead of sleeping. These actions may seem small, but they carry a profound truth. You are a priority, not because he has nothing else to do, but because even amidst everything, he chooses to be present. Those who don't intend to stay will always find excuses. Those who will never leave always find a way. When you become an essential part of someone's life, not out of obligation but out of desire, the bond becomes stronger than any distance. Time passes and differences emerge. That's when many loves falter. But his doesn't. He doesn't try to change who you are. He doesn't diminish your feelings or invalidate your opinions. Even when he disagrees, he listens. Even when he thinks differently, he respects you. Respect is the silent proof of mature love, because someone who truly loves understands that love is not about control. It's about walking side by side, even when the internal paths are different. He respects you in every detail, and someone who respects deeply will not leave, because respect is the root of love that flourishes. Real love lives in gestures no one sees, in the coffee made before you wake up, in the message sent during a difficult day, in the way he holds your hand silently when he notices something troubles you. He doesn't do these things to be praised. He isn't keeping score. He does them because your well-being matters to him as much as his own. These small acts speak louder than any "I love you" without meaning. Because true love isn't about promising the world. It's about building a world together, detail by detail. He cares for you even when no one is watching. And someone who cares like that cares because they want to stay. Every relationship faces challenges. Fights happen, differences surface, insecurities emerge. And in those moments, many choose the easy path, leaving, but he doesn't. He stays. He wants to understand, to resolve, to fight. He doesn't avoid conflict because he knows that overcoming difficulties strengthens the bond. He isn't afraid of difficult conversations because he knows love is worth the effort. He chooses to stay even when it's hard. And this repeated choice, day after day, is the most concrete proof that he will not leave. The deepest and often quietest sign of all is how he envisions the future. And in that vision, you are always there. Not necessarily in explicit promises, but in subtle phrases. When we travel, when we have our home, when we grow old together. He doesn't say if, he says when. And when someone speaks of the future, including you, it's because their mind has already decided. There's no path that doesn't have you by their side. He sees you in tomorrow, and someone who includes you in their tomorrow has no intention of leaving you today. True love also shows up in the small memories he keeps of you. That song you mentioned liking, that dessert you long for, that movie you wanted to watch. Everything becomes a reason to surprise you. He doesn't wait for special dates. He transforms any moment into something special because he wants to see you happy. These silent acts speak volumes more than any words could. Another subtle sign is how he celebrates your achievements without envy, without competition. He genuinely rejoices in your growth, in your courage, in your triumphs. He understands that your success doesn't diminish him, and this is rare, it's precious. When you notice this, you understand he doesn't see you as a temporary compliment. He sees you as someone to share life with forever. True love is also evident in how he senses your emotional needs. He notices when something bothers you before you even speak. He reads the signs, understands the silences, and seeks ways to bring comfort. Sometimes it's just a tight hug, a knowing look, a gentle touch. These gestures cannot be measured, but they are deeply felt. And these daily gestures confirm over and over that he will not leave you. He doesn't only stay for the good or neutral moments, but also celebrates life's small rituals together. Walking hand in hand, laughing at silly things, sharing dreams at midnight. He understands that routine can be magical if experienced with the right person. And this emotional consistency, this daily dedication, is what forms deep roots that cannot be broken. In the end, it's not a pretty phrase that proves he will never leave you. It's not a promise whispered under a sunset or a forever spoken in passing. What proves it are the silent actions, repeated every day, without show, without spectacle. It's the constant presence, the genuine interest, the disguised priority and routine, the unwavering respect, the gestures that seek no applause, the courage to face storms, and the future he sees with you by his side. If you recognize these signs in your story, then there is no doubt he is not by your side by chance. He is there because he chose to be. And when love is born from that decision, firm, mature, silent, he will not leave. No matter how much time passes, how many things change, or how many trials come. Because someone who loves like this will never leave you